Hello there. Are you feeling it? Are you recognizing that there's some beautiful shifts going on right now in this world? Now, you might consciously be very well aware of the energy shifts and the paradigm shifts that are changing as a collective here right now in this world, or it might not be something that you're consciously aware of. So, listen into this video to learn a lot more about where we are going as a collective. If you are on the timeline in your life to choose to awaken and be more conscious to who you really are. And I'm sure if you haven't already, your curiosity has been spiked here today. Now, we are definitely moving into a place where the seat of our soul, the heart, is the guidance and the leader in our experience while we're humans. And there is a whole lot of change for those who are embracing this in their own personal lives. Now, for me, this has been the most important part of my focus as a human being right now. And I believe because it has been made one of my highest value, the most important in my life, I am actively observing these beautiful changes that are going on as I move more into staying down here, operating entirely from the heart space, in coherence with the brain, but the heart is the boss here. The new paradigm. Now, let me know if you've experienced some of this in your own life right now. It's easier to manifest. Have you noticed? What you think about grows almost instantly in your experience. You might have think of something or desire something or have an idea, and you'll see that in fruition within the very same day. So that's going on. There are more signs and guidance directly in front of us that is directly able to be understood. Our GPS systems have become sharper, and it's much easier to just know when you're on the right track, when you are doing what is in alignment completely. You'll just know, a knowing feeling. This is a new sensory ability we've always had, but we're now honing in on. We're now using fully. There's more support, you may have noticed, not just in the spiritual realms, but also on the ground, in the three-dimensional world, you may have noticed. Truth is becoming more obvious. So when you are puzzled or offered a choice in your life, it becomes much clearer for you almost instantly which direction you will choose. You just know. Again, this is the seat of the heart. This is where we get this wisdom from. There is an instant peace that we can attain at any moment throughout the day. Are you experiencing that? Because you have the ability to drop into this peace at any moment that you choose to. With your willpower and your sovereignty, you can drop right into this heart space and feel who you really are. And that comes with a feeling of bliss. So you can get there now much more easily. There is more ability in us for us to really see and hear the truth through sensory acuity, that is using our body and our mind to see the subtle and hear the information. And also through our heart space, we are able to receive instant guidance, wisdom, intelligence, and intuition to really be able to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Our innate technology is awakening within us. We're accessing it. We're using it. And it's beautiful. Once you start using it, you don't want to go back. There is a lightness in our spirit. I'm sure you can attest to this too. There's a feeling that everything is going to be okay. You can't quite put your finger on this, but you just know there's a feeling. There's a power in that. There's an understanding that's becoming clearer each day, that you are a powerful creator. From the heart space, you really live this experience and start to fully embrace it and understand it, understand it. There's a buzz of excitement. I'm sure you've felt that in the last couple of weeks. There's a feeling that something beautiful is around the corner in every moment, because it is, because you are the creator in every moment. So you recognize all is unfolding in this now moment. So that buzz is there with you constantly, the creator buzz, a beautiful, exciting feeling. There's a emergence of inner creativity and inspired action in your life. You just know what direction to take and what to say and what decision to make in each moment as it unfolds, without the stress of analysis paralysis, because we're down here in the heart. There's more alignment. You've probably noticed this too. It seems that everything just falls into place in your human experience. It doesn't matter if someone cancels here, something else will come up that was in perfect timing there. It's just this perfect alignment consistently unfolding in your life. There's an inner guidance that you are starting to recognize within you. A guidance system that is absolutely reliable, flawless, that takes you exactly where you need to be, one step at a time. We are far more connected to our human body and mind in a coherent way. Have you noticed the harmony that is not just in the spiritual experience, but it is coming into our physical density? There is a harmony being restored in our body-mind complex that we've never truly felt before until now. We are able to listen and really hear the needs of our body now. We're able to nurture and give our body exactly what it needs, because we can hear and see exactly what it needs in perfect timing and alignment. It's easier to say no and assert your boundaries as you live in the heart space. I'm sure you've noticed this as well. You just know you can say no. And it's got nothing to do with approval or desire programs. It's got nothing to do with any of the worldly attachment and agenda. You say no in the moment because you know it's not in alignment for you. And when you say no and walk in the correct position that feels aligned, everyone else benefits around you. So your no's are actually in coherence and harmony with everyone around you. There's finer attunement. As I said, overall, we're just more finely attuned when we live in our heart space. Everything is clearer to us. And it's a very peaceful feeling, because when you know what to do exactly in each moment, in precisely the right timing, there is no suffering, no fear of the future, no fear of the past repeating itself. It has now no longer need for spending time in the memories of the past, which keep us enslaved, or the anxieties of the future, which keep us distracted in an illusory world. So we are much more present when we live in the heart space. And of course, there's an increased sensitivity and attunement to our extrasensory abilities, which we've never known were there in the first place, because it's not something we were taught in this world. But now we just naturally know how to use them. It's like we've always used them. Very familiar. And you'll never go back. So this is a beautiful way of being in the heart space. All of the things I just listed there, If that hasn't twisted your arm, I'm sure it has. But I'm sure you can attest to this in your own life. If you are on the same journey, if you are seeking truth, if you are seeking more love, then I can be sure, you can be sure that you have experienced some, if not all, of these very phenomena in your life right now. So know that you're not going crazy. This is really happening, and it's here to stay, because you won't want to go back to ignorance, to just thinking you are the body and the mind. We now know the body is not who we are. The mind is not who we are. We are pure loving awareness. We're using this body at the moment very temporarily. But when we know who we really are, we can harness our true power and have a completely different human experience. One of flow, one of ease, one of grace. Now, there are many ways that moving into the heart space for each of us is being journeyed right now. Now, I just listed a whole lot of the obvious signs that you are living a life in flow in the heart, but there are many ways to get there. So if you haven't started the journey, it might be for you awakening to the world system, the three-dimensional system we live in, researching and finding out that it hasn't been exactly how you've been led to believe. So that's how my journey started. I started to look behind the veil and find out information that shocked me and scared me, but it was a new education. And when I began this awakening journey, I didn't have anyone to talk to 10 years ago. It wasn't like it is now. And that's why I'm excited for everyone here who's awakening. There is full ground support now. So that's why I started this practice of coaching and counseling with others, because I wanted to be that person that I was seeking 10 years ago as I awakened to a whole new world and felt uncertain. And so I just want to reassure you that it's natural for us to have cognitive dissonance. What is cognitive dissonance? It's when your belief system is challenged, but you don't want to break the boundaries of your belief system to alter into the new understanding and shifts that needed to be added in. So you just push it completely away, the new information, even though it might actually make sense to you, you deny it, just to hold that structure of security you've already held onto your whole life. That's what cognitive dissonance is. So it's natural to go through a period of anger, grief, feeling betrayed, frustrated, depressed, hopeless as you awaken. And I just want to reassure you, this is completely natural. And that's why we need each other to reassure each other, to encourage each other. What you're going through is okay. You're exactly where you're meant to be in this very moment in time. All is well. Full acceptance where you're at. But the continuing journey of surrender needs to be part of this. Letting go, allowing yourself to let go of what you believed was true so that you can receive new information. You still get to decide if you want to believe it or not, but you first have to be able to let go of old information to make way for new information. So for many people, the journey from the head down to the heart to live in a new paradigm, which I just described before, which is beautiful, is often awakening to the fact that what they had been living, what you have been living, may not be completely aligned and true. So for many of us, we go through that. You don't necessarily have to go through this process. It's often going through rabbit holes and discovering things that are uncomfortable, but it is usually and often the case for many. So often, sometimes we need to break down to break through. I'm sure you might have heard that before. You lose your mind to find your heart. So I want to reassure you, there's a process where you won't feel grounded because you are losing a part of you that your entire life you're identified with. You based your entire self-image around. So there's going to be a period as you readjust your belief systems of what is true and what is not true, and what has been supportive and what has not been supportive, and how you've been deceived or led astray, and how that has led to our cycles of constant pain and suffering, depression and anxiety in your life. This is all part of the paradigm breaking. So of course you're going to feel a little crazy in the process, and that's perfectly okay. I'm here to tell you that it's perfectly okay. This too shall pass, and you will move into the next level for you when you're ready. Not comparing to anyone else, when you're ready. But it does take surrender. Surrender needs to be, excuse me, excuse me. Surrender needs to be your buddy along the way, along the awakening road, the journeying. Now, changes you might be noticing personally in your life. I've just listed a whole lot of beautiful signs of what it's like to live in the heart space. You might also be noticing that you're realigning in the way you function in life. You might be noticing that instead of planning and strategizing and seeking security, that you kind of let that go. And you live more in the present moment, the only moment that is real. And as you do this, you move into flow. Flow, and I've talked about this many times, is where we receive streams of consciousness, inspired action, where we feel immense states of peace, where things just effortlessly work with us to create abundance, where we manifest in perfect alignment and timing what we desire from the heart space, not from the head, not from the cultural value system, but from the heart space, what you truly desire from your heart. As you move into streams of consciousness, into flow, into communion with divine in each moment, because you're in your heart, you will receive exactly what you need to continue to grow, evolve, transform, and find. Remember who you really are. I've said this before, but you will get to a place where you realize that you don't need to seek anything, because everything you need is here, already here. The quest is finished. It's here. It's just really awakening to that and recognizing that and letting go. And that's why I say surrender needs to be part of this journey. Letting go of your self-identity, self-image. Letting go of your all agenda, all roles you play, to allow for the grace of flow in your life. So you can live in each moment without a worry in the world. Other things you might notice is that you recognize that there seems to be a bit of a bifurcation in the world at the moment. You may have noticed this. If you tend to be someone who is still operating in and surrounding yourself with a lot of people who are still unconscious, who live in their head, who operate from a feeling that they have to be in control, the small self is in control. If you surround yourself with this type of person, and that's perfectly okay, of course, then you'll notice there's a lot of fear. It becomes clearer because as you grow those eyes to see and ears to hear, the other way around, you begin to tap in and really sense this fear in the old way of being. And you'll notice similarly, when I said a bifurcation, there's kind of a split paradigm right now. There are a whole lot of people, as you collect your tribe and find your ground crew support, you will see that there are people on the same wavelength as you, feeling the same amount of love and peace and bliss and excitement for life as they start to move into a flow state, into the heart space. Now, changes you might notice collectively right now. There's more people to talk to. Like I said, more ground support crew. If you're finding that you need that and you can't see that in your life, ask for it. Just seriously surrender and ask for your ground support crew so that you have people physically here that you can go to and feel and ride the wave of love with. And because when we work together collectively on the same wavelength, it becomes easier because we are riding the waves together. We support each other. We bring each other into the higher paradigm. And that's why you'll notice, say 10 years ago for me, it was a lot harder for me to find where I am today. But because of the sheer amount of people on the ground right now, living in their heart space, making it their focus, making it the new way of being, it's going to be easier for you and I to ride that wave. So you can find your tribe now. It's time. You can reach out, ask the divine to show you and bring you your tribe. How to begin this journey if you haven't already. Maybe this is completely new information for you. Question everything. Question everything. Okay. This is about breaking paradigms. Are you happy in the old way of being? Are you still comparing yourself to your neighbor, your colleagues, your family members that are all miserable and in pain? Have you considered there are very happy, peaceful, blissful people in the world? Do you want to be one of them? Well, you have to stop trying to be like the rest of society because they haven't got the answer there at the moment. I'm just being honest here. I would still say the majority of people are very unconscious. So if you want to be one of the people who leads into the new paradigm in your world, in your sphere of influence, then start to question things. Open up your mind. Explore new possibilities. Surrender. I've done a video about this. Have a look. But surrender your role, the gender, the skin color, the physical appearance, the job you have, the sister, the mother, the brother, the uncle, the aunt, the friend. Surrender all of that. Because when you hold on to these roles you play, these identities, they come with associated agenda. We need to let go of agenda because this is all based on programming. When we are truly free, you're not truly free if you're being run around and led by subconscious programming that is disempowering. That's the majority of people still. So if you want to become truly free, it's time to surrender who you thought you were. Share your experiences and feelings with people that you feel you can trust, because you are not alone at all. If you feel alone physically, there are plenty of people online around the world that would love to connect with you. Okay. When you feel human connection, it really reinforces the eternal, pure, loving awareness that you are. It teaches you. People teach us to be better. Life is worthless without human connection. What is the point? We grow through connecting with others, because when we look at others, we see the truth of who we really are. And that's why they say that other people in our lives are mirrors or projections. They help us grow, evolve, transform, ascend into a higher paradigm to access wisdom, intuition, guidance, and intelligence. So connect with others. It's important. Share your feelings, share your fears. Look at your fears. Don't resist them. What resists persists. Have the bravery and the courage to look at what's scaring you and what's keeping you small and afraid. Look at it. This is what I do with all my clients. And you'll always find it was a lot less scary than you thought, and it will break that fear. It can never be the same again. So face them, face the fears. Reimagine a new world. And I'm talking about swimming around in your daydreams. There is a power that we hold, that is, you would not even imagine the power that we hold. We create in every moment. Every single moment and experience you've lived up to this very point in this now moment, you created. Whether you did it unconsciously or consciously, you still did it. So it's worth learning how to do it consciously. So reimagine the world you want to live in from your sphere of influence, meaning what you can influence in your life. Start there. Accept what you can't influence and just work in the sphere of influence, and you will radically change the world from the in out. Swim around in these daydreams. Really taste, touch, feel what you would love to experience, because you are planting a seed when you do that, and you nurture it through that feeling, that frequency. It'll take some time for that seed to sprout out of the ground. Physical world is the last thing to manifest, but believe me, you are manifesting in your thoughts, in your daydreams. So do not for a second spend any more time in fear or anger or fighting resistance. This will continue to create the same stuff in your life that cause those cycles of pain and suffering. So it's time to move on. It's time to recognize your power as a creator in every moment. What you focus on grows. Create the world you want to be in. You have the power to do that. Start little if you need to experiment, but believe me, you will see in evidence in your own life when you start applying this principle, the law of attraction. Play. Please look at the last video I did on play. We need to play. This has been hidden from us for a very long time. It's been all about survival. Like attracts like. When we're in survival mode, in the fight, flight, freeze mode, 24 hours a day, except when we're sleeping, sometimes that's a beautiful reprieve. But for the 16 hours a day that you're awake, if you're in fight, flight, freeze all day, because that's the program and the culture that we live in, you can be sure that you're going to bring more of that in. More reasons to fight, flight, and freeze. More reasons to just survive. More reasons to work, do, produce, achieve, okay? So play. If you want to rebalance your life, you got to learn how to have joy, how to relax, how to dance, how to sing, how to play like a child. This was never meant to be part of just a child age life. Play is meant to be part of our experience as humans, no matter how old we are. So get out there, find out where you completely go into flow states, where you lose track of time and space, and go and play. It is important for the balance and reharmonizing of your life and the reemergence of the sacred in this earth experience. It's not about just surviving. Certainly felt like that in the last 2 years, but it's time to awaken to the truth that you need play. So I just want to leave you with a little bit of encouragement as we move into the new paradigm of flow, of living in our heart, of experiencing the beauty, the miracles, the heavenly solutions every day, every moment in our lives, pinching ourselves, how beautiful it is and how it's like a wave. As you do that, I want to encourage you, you're not alone, okay? When there will be times where you feel like you're going backwards, you can never go backwards. We are always expanding. You never go backwards, ever, okay? Just know that you are loved, that there are many of you out there wanting to connect, wanting to reassure and encourage you, wanting to keep you in your heart space, to love. This is our core strength, because we are love. So if you feel you're lacking love and support in your life, go give it to someone. Go out there and find someone you can love and support, and you will not feel that lack anymore. There has been a massive timeline shift. I feel it and I know it. We are heading into a beautiful realm. Come with me. We're all in this together in the heart space. This is where we travel. This is where we are. We don't actually physically travel anywhere. We are awakened to the new paradigm. So flow is the new way of being. We've reached that tipping point. Oh yeah, massive timeline shift as a collective. So yeah, you're not going crazy. There has been a massive shift. It's very exciting. It's easier and faster to journey into this higher perception and way of being. So ride that wave and enjoy it. If you found this video inspiring, it's all a movie. Enjoy it. Enjoy the divine play. Please like, subscribe, and share if it resonated. And have a beautiful day. See ya.